gross.
So you're all set up with your tripod
in Florida.
You got your tasty beverage all the way from Florida. How are things? Are you COVID free? Are you COVID full? Are you COVID?
What if I was like, no, I got that shit. Like, you all be like, oh no.
I go, bad connection. Gotta go. Bye bye.
No, I think anybody who's drank 4 Locos in their life, I don't think they can get COVID, man. That's the cure.
That's why Florida's not scared.
Exactly, we're not scared. We're 4 Locoed up.
Yeah, he was talking. Trump was talking about injecting bleach and shit, like then disinfectant and shit like that. All you need is just crack one of those 4 Locos, or just really one.
Like, everybody in Florida that heard that, he was like, "I'm gonna put bleach in my skin." We were like, "And then what?" Okay, that's the You're gonna do bleach and then bath salts, and then you gotta escalate, man. We got bath salts. Bleach don't scare us.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
What's been what's so far? What has been your like silver lining kind of moment? Like what have you taken out of this that you really like? Like I know obviously it's a trying time, but we've been like trying to catch up with people that we've known like for, I mean, Jesus Christ, we go back as comics since what 7 years?
Yeah.
No, 5 years?
No.
Jesus.
We've been up here for 5.
Because I was I was probably a year and a half. I was some time in before we met, but probably at least 5 years.
Yeah, that was like that was a lot of like that was some of the like most fun obviously I've had going to Mike's, doing that stuff.
It was the beginning.
It was the beginning. Yeah, I mean obviously
I remember when you moved and then you just came back like to visit after like a year or so, and you just like popped up at a mic, and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me you were here?" And you were like, "I knew you'd be here. I wanted to surprise you." I was like, "Oh."
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's just one of those things that like I don't know what it is, but like we've been trying to like it's kind of like one of those things that like you have that unspoken, like I've had that with like a couple comics up here, like just a couple where like I've thought about like where I meet them and then like it's almost like that Step Brothers moment of like did we just become best friends, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like any of those times where like I feel like people that I text on a regular basis are those people, and you're definitely one of them, and that's because
I appreciate it. I love getting the text from you, man. Like I miss you guys. Like I can't wait to get back up to Philly, like for sure. I've got like a lot of like fans in Philly now. Like I got people who are like dying to see the show. So like I had it planned. Like I had a whole schedule booked, and then all this stuff happened and everything got canceled. So
yeah, I was supposed to headline my first festival. I was supposed to I had like a couple, like two of like the 4 podcasts that I was producing at the time were like set to do like festivals, like podcast festivals and shit like that, live shows and shit like that. And I was like, and it's kind of like one of those things that like, that's why I'm like, first of all, we wanted to make sure that you're okay. We wanted to talk to you. God, like even that, like I shoot you a text and everything, but it's not the same. Like I can see your beautiful fucking face.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to take advantage of it, as everyone's using Zoom right now. Yeah. So it's like, hey, let's just like call our friends. let's talk and see how everyone's doing.
But
so it's dope. Like, and trust me, I definitely wanted to see you guys. Not that I've turned down a bunch of these, but I don't have the time to do a bunch of them. But I love seeing you all, and I love talking to you all. So, definitely glad that you all have me on here, and we get to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
The same goes, like you have said, you have been one of the people that, like, first of all, complimented. When we get compliments on our relationship, when people notice how fucking awesome we are.
You are incredible.
Like that's the one thing I can brag about. Sorry, go ahead.
You were the first couple that I saw like use the talk to each other while using the bathroom with the door open. You're just like, "Honey, what's today?" And I was like, "These are regular questions you could ask after the bathroom." Like, you're just on the toilet, like, "Today is Tuesday, isn't it?" Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, hey, I'm looking for the paprika. Like, what for right now? Like, no.
Into the bathroom. Hey, honey, do you remember the paprika?
Is it this one?
What's the difference between oregano
and? But like that was the thing, and that because that's one of the things that we feel like we can actually brag about. Like we are people that like her with her Harry Potter knowledge. Me with my music I can do my what is it? I was gonna say atrophy, not my wordsmith. I'm not a great wordsmith. It turns out, but what's been your silver lining like so far, like out of the, because you said you've been shooting a lot of sketches and shit, right?
Yeah,
dude, honestly, the greatest thing that I got from these last 3 months is I figured out the internet. Like for some reason people like I posted, I don't know if y'all saw this, I posted on Instagram today that I found out maybe 2 hours ago that I have more followers than Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. One of the greatest basketball players of all time, and I'm more popular.
Like, how do you rationalize that in your head?
It's absurd to me. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
That's crazy.
Did you? I can't remember because I did see that post. We've been watching The Last Dance on the ESPN thing.
Yeah.
And that was one of those things. Michael Jordan became my favorite person in the world earlier today. I think it was, or was it last night?
I think it was last night.
When there's
so many crazy things in that documentary. I'm just like, if you look at him being interviewed in his house, he looks sad. Like, he looks lonely. Like, but that's the cost of winning. He wanted to win more than anything else, and he did it. He became the greatest. But then it's like, what do you have after basketball? And it's like, that's what's so brilliant about it is you're showcasing the greatest basketball player of all time who, after his career, doesn't really have that same, like, you don't get that feeling. It's like stopping doing stand-up. It's like nothing will equate to that ever. Nothing in his life will be as great as winning a championship. You understand? Like, holding that and having millions of people be like, thank you, you brought this to our city. Like, nothing will equate to that. So your everyday life seems mundane.
All those players, not even that, but all the fact that, like, it's everybody said, like, oh, he made all those players look good. No, he made them better.
He made them, yeah.
Like, that was the thing. It's like, as people go, he was an asshole. Like, no, he wasn't. He was an asshole in the sense.
He wanted to win.
Yeah, he was the one that said, like, this is what I do. I'm not asking you to do anything I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this that's why I am who I am. So you can
all great players do that, though. All great players make everyone around them better. Like, there's so many specific sports references of, like, Aaron Rodgers made Jordy Nelson look like a top 5 wide receiver, and Jordy Nelson sucks.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So what do you think with Tom Brady coming to Tampa?
Ooh.
What do you think?
I just want a season. You know, like, that's all I want. We get 2 years of Tom Brady, and I would hate for the first year to get canceled when we have the GOAT. Like, that's so dumb.
Oh, I didn't even think that.
I didn't want to bring because I thought about that too, because Gronk is the same way, right? Gronk
signed a 1 year. Tom Brady signed 2 years. But it's like, if this season gets canceled, I don't know if they still have to pay him, but it's like, I don't want a year older Tom Brady. I want him right now. Like, he has 2 good years left. It's like, I don't want to, you know, get him at 43. Like,
yeah, I think about that. Like he's another one too, because he won. Like, he's got Tom Brady's at 6, right?
Yeah.
6. So he's equal. That's the thing, is everybody can equal Michael Jordan, but I don't know if anybody could ever.
Oh, no. Tom Brady, legacy-wise, I think Tom Brady's done more, just for the simple fact of Tom Brady was picked 199. Dude, he wasn't supposed to be here at all. Michael Jordan was looked at as he can be great.
Right.
Like, he got drafted 3rd. You know, like, that was you knew he was going to be good. He went on to be the greatest basketball player of all time, but Tom Brady wasn't supposed to be in the NFL. Like, he was supposed to be a back of, you know what I mean?
Michael Jordan became my favorite person in the world because of you're witnessing greatness. You're witnessing like determination, hard work, and like just natural, just whether it be mental toughness, whatever. But my favorite fucking part was when they handed him the iPad and he's watching it. And
he's watching Isaiah Thomas?
And it's the glove, the guy, whoever the glove was.
Yeah, the glove, Sean Kemp.
Yeah, and he's like,
Gary Payton.
And he's laughing his ass off. And he's just like,
I didn't care about Gary Payton.
He goes, he's like, it wasn't about him at all. It was never a problem. Yep. and then, I mean, obviously it goes to a sad part after that about his dad and everything. And that, at that point, like, he became my favorite person in that couple minute clip of, like, where he's so humanized by, like, him sobbing about, like, that, it meaning that much to him with his dad. And, like, that humanizes him. It takes away that just kind of blind corporate face. You see, like, that human again. And then
that's so crazy. Like, It's so wild how Gary Payton was regarded as like one of the best defensive players of all time, and Michael Jordan laughed. He's like, I didn't have any problems with Gary Payton.
It was uncontrollable. It was uncontrollable. Like, it was like news to him, and that was like what I was like. I was like, oh my God! And for him to go like, yeah, keep that in, because what the fuck is he talking about? Like, you
saw when they showed him about Isaiah Thomas, and they were like, this was his explanation for not shaking your hand after. He was like, oh, I'll watch the video, but I'm still gonna think he's an asshole. Like,
yeah. It
doesn't matter. It won't change anything. He's like, it doesn't change how he was in the moment, in hindsight. And then in the clip, he's watching it, and it's saying, he's like, now I see it. He's like, see, he's saying, now I see.
Now I see. Yeah, but then like, he'll always be an asshole.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, but he's also somebody, like he said, the terminology that he has is like, it's kind of like, it's culty in the way that like it'll be, it'll say like, put your mind to it, or that's when
but it is true.
But it's like, but he's literally, he's the one, my favorite ones that he was saying were like, it's easy to talk shit after you win. It's easy to talk shit. He's like, talk shit while you're losing, or while while it's 0-0.
Yeah, you got to keep it the same all the way through.
Right. Yeah. He's like, that's when you're great, and he's like, that's what I do, and it's like one of those things of like, he's not asking you to be. He knows nobody can be better than him, but he's just asking everybody around him just to try to be
your best.
Yeah, be your best, be my best.
That's not fun,
dude. That's all I want at like, I don't know, man. Just doing comedy, you see the same people do the same set for like years, and it's like, I'm not saying to switch up your set. I'm saying just be better. Like, people settle for chuckles, and they settle for these things that like kind of work, and it's like, why wouldn't you want bigger laughs?
Yeah.
Why do you watch people do great and then get mad? Like, you can do that. It can be done. This is annoying.
I think about that. I think about like that kind of level of like, I want everybody, because I have that mentality where I try to help. I want to help when I can, like people that I feel like, like we both had that. And I feel like that's the thing. That's what connects us.
Bring people along, but you have to.
You need help. Like you can do it by yourself. Like comedy is a solidary. Like it's just you on stage for the most part, unless you're on an improv group or a band or whatever. But like, it's you. But it's still like it's not just you getting you up there. Like it's other.
You still have lessons that you learn from everybody else, man.
Right. And you learn.
Comics give you more work than any club could ever give you.
Oh,
like, comics vouch for you. They put you on the shows. They get you into clubs. Like, if the comics don't like you, like, why wouldn't you want to be better, bro? Like, you have to bring people, like, I have so many, like, proteges and people that I'm like, oh, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. You know what I mean? Like, here's the things that I wish I knew when I was at your level. Like, you got to be able to help people. Like, I've got OGs. I've got multiple people who helped me get to where I'm at. So it's like, why wouldn't I help somebody? It doesn't make sense.
And that's the thing is you weren't trying to say like, I don't want you to get a show. I want that show. Like you say you want the show. Obviously we all know we all want show. What the hell's going on with this? There we go. Sorry. But like, it's one of those things where you're not saying like, here's how I got on shows, or here's something that I didn't know at the time that I was trying to get on shows, or it doesn't work like this. Try it like this, shit like that, where you're not like, I feel the same way. And I feel like that shared mentality is kind of like why it's not a competition as much as you think, because like you said, comics are what book you, that's what gets you more work than clubs anytime. Like a club's a business.
Yeah.
The art form you need to trust. That's like our players association.
Yeah. It's all like, the club is going to look at who can sell tickets, where the comic is going to look at who's actually like talking about something, who's actually killing, who's actually being innovative, and
who's going to do something with this. Like who's going to get like with that
and
opportunity.
Put on a good show.
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, that guy's hacky, gimmicky, whatever. Like you don't want to.
There's
that's
so
not
many
the
people
kind
who
of
like they do the shows where they're like, oh, I owe this guy a favor, so I got to give him stage time. Every show I've ever put together, you got to be a murderer. To be on my show, you have to kill. Like, that's all there is to it. If you've ever been on one of my lineups, bro, like, you're good. There's no, like, oh, this person's on it because they booked the room, or this person's good because, I hate that. I would never want to be booked on a show where it's like a pity, where you got to go up and do 3 or 4 minutes because they're like, just let it go. He had to,
Yeah.
He booked me. He got me a really great corporate gig, Or it's like it's usually here. I've realized it's a lot of paid gigs. Like he paid me, so I'm gonna put him on a show where he gets paid.
I'm not doing the tit for tat, bro. Like if I have a show and you're like, I'll put you on my show if you put me on yours. I'm like, I just won't do your show. Like, it's fine.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. If that's the deal, like that's the thing is like, because it's like, don't do me any favors. Do me like, if you think that I'm going to be good for the show, put me on the show. If you think I'm a good comic, that's what I'm fucking looking for. I've been doing this for this long for fucking barely any money. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm happy to do this for like, I mean, I'm not, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's one of those things where like you have that, like it's a respect thing, but it's also like eventually you have to respect yourself. You got to give yourself raises.
Oh dude, I'm so glad that now I've like for the last couple months, maybe the last year, I've been in a position where I'm like, I can turn down shows. Like that shit feels great to just be able to be like, no, that show doesn't make sense. Like why would I go to Wisconsin for $100?
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, I'd be like, yay, I'm traveling. I'm a working comic. But I went into $200 into debt just to go do this show. Like,
and what am I going to experience in fucking?
But I think there is value in those still. You should still do them if you're in a position. Early on. But there is a cutoff time where you go, this is not going to benefit me. But you do want to be like, I went to
drive 2 hours to go do 5 minutes at a mic in front of no one. You know what I mean? Just because it was a different town. But like at this point, it's like, oh, I can just figure this out on my own. Like I don't. Yeah. Comedy's so weird because comedy's one of those things where like you have to do terrible things to get to a good spot. Yeah. Nobody's like just gotten to do the good things first.
That was the thing with I was actually. It's funny because the whole Rona bullshit came at a time where I was doing a lot of road shows and stuff like that were great because I was getting a lot of time and stuff like that, and just like you're talking about, oh hey, you get to perform in another city, that's cool. Oh, you get to do this. Like I was, I'm getting paid and I get the time, but the shows are in these spots where pre-corona were non-traditional, and you were like, well, I would much rather be in clubs, and I want to try to break into clubs. I want to just be performing.
Yeah, now you don't want those.
I got the reps. I'm fine. Let me in, coach. And then this shit happens, and then I'm like, well, I might go back to those shows.
They're outdoors.
I just did my first live show. Not last night, the night before. Was it Friday night?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah. And the show was. It's weird, but I'm glad that like I get to do a couple of those shows before I get back in clubs, because it's like you got to knock the dust off, man.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not nervous about it. Like but I know that for either way, like I haven't exercised that performance muscle in a while.
You'll get it, but it'll take. It
takes a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I did an hour, and the first 35 I did was just new. Like it was all stuff that I just wrote, and I was like trying to figure it out. So like That was a situation where I was like, maybe I could have just did the old stuff. But that first 35, I was like, I need to get this out. I need to try and figure it out. It was just, I've been sitting on it for so long now that I was like, I need to know what this does. Man, stand-up is weird. Because it's like, you can't even compare it to like riding a bike, where it's like you don't ride a bike for a while and you get on it takes you a little bit and you figure it out. It's like way worse than that.
Oh, no.
It's like you got rid of your bike, you had amnesia, you forgot what a bike was, and then you buy a bike and you're like, this thing looks kind of cool.
You're like, this is like a really cool, like a slow car that you push with your leg, like a Flintstones thing, right? I think that's I don't know, man. Like I've at first I was thinking about that because luckily I've had creative outlets. I've been able to still work with like producing like the podcasts and like and shit like that, and still editing and still working with like some people that are able to, that are, whatever clients are actually still open. But it's like, luckily it's having that, like having people, but it's because I have people on my team. Do you know? I have people that, even though I'm a small business, or I'm a small like independent contractor, whatever the fuck it may be, I still have people that help me in that sense. So have you not done any virtual shows or anything? Have you tried that? Is that even, because I feel like I could not even try that because it wasn't even close to the same thing.
I did like a week, maybe 2 weeks into quarantine, I did my own live show, and it went fine. People were like, do another one. We really liked it. But I had 5 comics at my house and then like some friends and family, and it was fine. But that's more of a live show because they were in my living room and then I just live streamed it.
Yeah.
But then I did like 2 weeks ago, I did this live stream for Dry Bar, and that's the only reason I even did it. Is because I'm doing another Dry Bar special, and I was like, all right, let's figure this out. And so I like open mic'd for 30,000 people. And it was intense. Like it was weird because I had to do like 15 minutes Mormon church clean and then a 45-minute like Q&A. It was a lot. Like by the end of it, I was exhausted.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, it was like, especially because I'm not like the cleanest person. Like I can be, but like not working on those jokes clean, having them be brand new thoughts. I was like, let's see how this goes.
Did you do it in your living room, like in your house, or did you go out?
I did it at my girlfriend's parents' house.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like you have to have a different scenario. Like a lot of times for a lot of the podcasts and stuff, I'll like put on like I won't just have sweats on. Like I don't want to try to do that work at home, shit. I want to dress like I'm doing a show. Like when I did.
Like you're doing the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I like this setup right here. I love the Harry Potter green screen. That makes me so happy.
I've held her at bay as much as I can, but she just binged watched all 7 movies, and she was
watching Goblet of Fire today.
Yes.
That's my
that's his favorite.
I like Didgeridoo.
Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire is good. It ain't no Chamber of Secrets though.
Yeah,
which one's that?
Chamber of Secrets is the only pro Slytherin movie in the entire series.
Yes.
Oh, you're Slytherin too?
Gang.
Me too. I am.
Oh, now you're gonna embrace it.
No, I don't. I'm not happy with it because
he wanted to be Hufflepuff and he got Slytherin.
I got a tattoo on my thigh. It's a Slytherin tattoo.
I told him it's not a bad thing. And he doesn't believe me. He's like, and then we were watching Deathly Hallows, and then they where he says, "They're
all Slytherins and they're all murdering people." It's like,
that's not a good one. But when Professor McGonagall was like, "Flinch, take them to the dungeons," and he's like, "Look, they're taking them to the dungeons. They're evil."
Like
and
the Japanese in World War II.
Like, well, no, like majority of their parents. Yeah.
That's where they're common
their house
areas, which is really messed up. I had a bit about this that like never really worked because nobody cares about Harry Potter as much as I do, but I was like, you understand they're all 11 years old and you're gonna separate these kids into this house and go, you all are shitty, you're mean kids. Like I like Cheez-Its and cheese puffs too, bro. Like
I like chocolate frogs, bro.
Their common room has a view. It's up in the castle. It's nice. Your common room's in the dungeons. You're like, of course I'm gonna be evil. Like,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's one of those things where they're like, oh, they're not all evil, it's like, yeah, but like there's not any shitty Ravenclaws. There's no shitty Hufflepuffs. There's no shitty,
there are, but I couldn't name any. Can you name any? He asked me, and I'm like, I'm sure there were Death Eaters that were from.
Were there any shitty Hufflepuffs or Ravenclaws or
like I'm sure they followed Voldemort, but they don't call it out specifically.
Yeah, they don't call it out specifically, but I'm sure, like, how do you not?
Yeah.
How do you not have some shitty Ravenclaws,
Yes.
Birdie Bot?
So there's this like golf thing on right now that my roommate's showing me. It's like Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson versus Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning.
Oh shit!
Oh really?
Oh, that's why.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? Like,
yeah.
Pouring there. They're all greats. Playing a sport that
Can you imagine
that everyone plays?
Fun to watch. I'd love to watch all 4 of them play basketball. That'd be way more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out like why it was that I never really got huge into basketball. Obviously, I was huge into basketball when I was a kid, and it was the second 3 championships for me. That was the time in my era. Like, and I was a huge Scottie Pippen fan because I was like, hey man, this Jordan. I was more of a.
So are you also a Luigi fan?
I was gonna say and also I'm a Yoshi fan. But I also what's his face? God damn it! I was gonna make who's the fucked up teeth guy? The one that she said.
Harden?
No. The ones that I'm thinking of Harry Potter.
Oh, guy. Harry Potter. Neville.
I'm a Neville Longbottom guy. I'm always a number 2 guy. That's me.
Neville had one of the coldest glow-ups in all time. Like,
yes.
That dude went from a -2 to like a 7. Like,
I'd say he's an 8. I feel he's. I mean, like you get him in a suit on the red carpet, you get him back out there.
That's funny. It's like I know a lot of girls that love Neville just because they're like, they felt what he went through of like just being like the worst character and then like ends up being the hero of the series.
Yeah, I like how they just openly make fun of like how ugly and stupid he is for most of it, and then they're like, "Oh wait, he's a hero now." Spoiler alert, obviously.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
She was a person like we've had discussions many a time before about what is it again? Prophecies.
Oh yes.
So she was saying like it could have been Neville just as much as it could have been Harry. And
Voldemort created his demise. Like he created Harry.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But
Voldemort created his demise by like killing Neville's parents.
Well, Harry Potter's parents, because they didn't.
Well, he also killed Neville's parents too. He killed them with the Cruciatus curse.
But they weren't dead. They were in the hospital. Because I remember Neville. No, they didn't die because Neville visited them. So they were just like bedridden. They were like vegetables. So they never died.
Wait, but
that's a pretty big L though.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like he shivoed him.
Right, but yeah. He
got shivoed.
I think that was kind of the. It's a little different. Like they were still there. Harry's they were dead, and then obviously his mom.
Yeah, but which would you rather? You know.
Oh, much rather them just be dead for sure.
It's like you don't want to have that choice of pulling the plug or having to the stuff. Come on, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, so because they said it was a boy born in July on this year, and they were born just a couple of days apart, and he chose Harry to go after. So then,
which my theory is, then it was always supposed to be Harry. Like if it was Harry, it's always supposed to be Harry, and he just killed an ugly kid's parents for no reason.
Well, they were in the order; they were fighting like.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But it was a 50-50 chance. It could have been Neville. And if it was Neville, would he have been able to step up to the plate? I don't know. But the ending shows that he could have.
No.
You know what?
He didn't do it till the last movie.
This is why Neville wouldn't have worked. Is because if it was Neville didn't have enough friends. It took Harry, the smartest girl in school, and the dude with the most balls. It took both of them for all this to happen. Hagrid wouldn't have held it down for Neville.
Yeah.
Hagrid would have been like, get this little nerdy kid out of here.
And not to mention Snape's role in the whole thing. Obviously, Snape's fucking
Snape saved his ass.
The surrounding cast around Harry is why Harry was able to win.
Yeah.
Like the surrounding cast around Neville, like they would have let him die first movie. Like,
That would have been like, who?
Neville would have got shivoed real quick. That series would have been different.
They're like, he's got all the Horcruxes and that ugly kid's dead.
Harry would still be under the basement stairs.
He would have just still stayed a neglected child. So
how old were you when you started reading the books?
I was young. Like I remember, like I had to wait for the second book on.
Oh,
Like it was the first book that my dad like started reading to me, and then I would read it like every night on the toilet. Like I'd spend extra time on the toilet just like reading.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I still have my original Harry Potter book. Like the first one, I still have it. Like all the pages are like old. It's dope.
Covered in shit.
Oh, that's awesome. My dad tried to get me to read Red Dragon. Right. Is that the one? The
Red Dragon?
Yeah, that was what my dad.
Like Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. But I was not allowed. I was not allowed to read Harry Potter.
That's not a picture book, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, I love like the whole Hannibal series. Like that's one of the coolest villains of all time.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the first villains that I saw that they let him be a genius as opposed to being just like, I'm a crazy murderer. He was like, no, I'm smarter than you and I'm gonna eat you.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get away with this.
Like not to mention I'm gonna cook you up and I'm gonna eat you. Like that, like the one. What is it? I think it's Hannibal, right? The one where he's eating the good fella's brain.
Yeah.
What's his face? Ray Liotta.
Silence of the Lambs, not Hannibal.
Hannibal. No, it's Hannibal. Where he's
I think it's Hannibal.
He's like feeding him his own brain.
Anybody like of known success at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I think either way, I like that series. How the fuck did we get on Silence of the Lambs?
My bad.
The books. No, the Red Dragon. Because of your fucking trauma as a child. I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad because I was watching Bloodsport, but she's fucking reading Red Dragon as a fucking child.
I didn't really read it.
Here's your bubble bath. Here's your fucking.
He just like he wanted me to get into reading, and he was like, "This is a really like crazy book. You read it."
Yeah. Yeah, here's what is that? Here's Schindler's List. Yeah. This will really get you into.
No, I found this out. We found this out.
Child, you want to read Mein Kampf?
Look, he was a great painter. Okay, look, read this, lady. But no, I think what was it? We found out that apparently Schindler's List was a book before, but it was called Schindler's Ark. And we're and I was like, does that mean there was one of each? I don't understand how this works. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But it was like, we learned that playing fucking Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that we can still learn shit from that. Like, either way, you can learn values we learn from Harry Potter.
Oh, yes. That's all my values.
Through comedy, you need your friends. You need friends to book you. You need friends to hype you up. And sometimes you need to throw an ugly person under the bus.
I got this new game. It's a blockbuster game. It's so much fun. It's just, you just have to know movies and be able to like act them out like charades type thing. Mm-hmm. But the way you act them out, you can only do like one word, quote the movie, or it's like there's a third thing, but like it's dope. But you gotta be real good at movies. Like, how do you act out the sound of music? There's like
Hills Are Alive.
Is that a quote from it?
Yeah, that's the hills. The hills are alive with the sound of. I would fucking crush at that game. Give me another one.
I just recently, my girlfriend made me watch the Mummy series, and I watched all the Jurassic Parks. I had never seen them.
What? What'd you think of Jurassic Parks? Like, you didn't even watch the 90s ones or whatever?
Never seen any of them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
The third one's pretty trash, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Usually how it goes.
The third Mummy is also trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
been a long time since I've seen those. Yeah. I loved those movies when they came out.
You're talking about Brendan Fraser mummies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those were a lot of fun.
Those were good movies.
Those to me were like.
And that was your first roller coaster.
Yeah, that was my first roller coaster. That was like my Kmart.
I ride, but I never saw the series. So like I was just on the ride, like, okay, I'm going to the tube.
This is to me the Mummy, like the Brendan Fraser mummies were like the Kmart version of Indiana Jones. Like that was like it's always like
I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Oh man,
it's gonna be a little bit more boring for you compared to the.
So what movies did you watch?
Yeah, what do you watch as a kid? Just
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I don't know. Like I've got an extensive movie knowledge, but those were just things that like I thought got overhyped. But you know, I was wrong.
I didn't watch The Sopranos until last year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
The Sopranos.
It's worth it.
It's good.
Hold out. Yeah. It's really good. Like you will enjoy it, but just hold out. Like you don't need to see it right now. Just wait until like there's a movie coming out, a prequel movie I think coming out.
No, it's
what?
No, it is prequel. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. His son's playing him. Yeah.
So it's really good, but it's one of those things that like you can wait. You don't have to. That's one that you can hold on to for the next pandemic.
Yeah. I feel bad because I've seen like everything else. You know what I mean? Like I've seen The Wire, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, pretty much every other movie series, The Godfather. Like I've seen the Scarface, everything. But yeah, there's just certain things that I.
Yeah, do you watch?
Oh yeah, I love Star Wars.
Good.
Saw the new one.
Yeah, what'd you think?
They had to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to end it somehow.
Yeah.
Do you like Mandalorian?
Mandalorian's cool. I'm not like super hype about it. It's fine. Like the whole Baby Yoda hype. It's like that's not even the best part of this entire show.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I wanted to bring this up just like we've been doing this about halfway through the show. We like to address the one book that I allow in this house besides Harry Potter.
What is that?
It's called If Double Ellipses. and it's by Evelyn McFarlane and James Saywell. It's basically we'd like to pick a couple questions out by random, and just kind of read them out. Like, and I've made her read them because I'm terrible at reading. But they're just basically what if questions that have been great. I don't know. We learn a lot about people this way, and I feel like these are some good ones. So
this is a good one.
Okay.
So if you were to inhabit the world of any video or computer game, which one would you select?
Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a Dragon Ball Z person. I just love the idea of like getting angrier and like your power level goes up and you just defeat the guy. Like, I would love to be in Dragon Ball Z. That'd be the best video game ever.
Yeah. I would say
That'd be great.
I would say mine would be Street Fighter. Most specifically the outdoor Barakas.
Yeah, you just want to be Baraka.
I want to be I want to be on the dock. I want to have my toes in the sand, and I want to just fight every once in a while. Whenever you need me to, I'll just beat up Ryu or Ken, anybody, Vega.
That's funny.
What about you?
Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The Harry Potter video games suck though.
They're
the worst video games ever.
It's almost like they were computer games that were put on console.
Yes.
And like they're just kind of like that's just a way to get you familiar with the story. So you either go see the movie or you're like, I'm a fan of this.
So it's so crazy because it's like the series is so good. In Magic, how do you have a bad game?
Yeah.
It has all the qualities to have such a great video game, and they just don't. They just didn't care.
Well, and then we looked up to see because we had them for PlayStation 3. We have PlayStation 4. So I was like, oh, let's see if they have any Harry Potter games. They're like, no. They're like, we stopped making them. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like all of the reviews are like, don't touch this game.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
The Lego one is really popular, but I didn't really like the Lego one. I played it.
I don't like Lego games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as fun as it's just playing even with regular Legos, surprisingly enough. You think
But that's really the only video games I played, so that's all I can say.
When I was growing up, Legos were like rich people toys. Like Legos were so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they still are.
And that was my biggest thing, my problem with when this whole pandemic started with some businesses. I feel like there was like I went into so we're obviously we're not far, we're a couple hours outside of Philly. We're kind of near outside of New York, outside of fucking Washington.
We're central to all of it, yeah.
We're in the shit right now. And there's a level of like professionalism. Like you said, how can you fuck up a video game where your main component is magic? Anything can happen. It's popular.
I wonder if J.K. Rowling had anything to do with it. If she didn't license certain things. Anything to do with Harry Potter, she's involved in, which
absolutely as she should be.
Yeah. I do totally get it, but so I wonder if things.
Did you read Cursed Child?
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I liked it. It was just more Harry Potter content. Like it wasn't like the best thing I'd ever.
Doesn't seem like you did.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah,
like the whole fact of like Bellatrix. You think while all this war shit is going on and he's the most dominant person in the world, you think he's busting out Bellatrix, bro?
I know. I thought that was crazy.
You think Bellatrix is giving up them cheeks? Come on. that just didn't add up to me. So she's pregnant during the Wizarding War.
Yep.
She was?
No. Well, that's what the book is about.
With what's his
Voldemort.
Faces?
Yeah, she has him.
Yeah, they're basically saying like
they have a daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and
they
then
have the
comes
kid
back
and like
Harry.
it just the timeline didn't add up for me. I was just like, we need a villain character.
Yep.
Here's this kid. And it's like that kid would never have existed. There's no way Voldemort. First of all, I don't think Voldemort got a pee-pee. Second of all, like
he doesn't even have a fucking nose.
You don't got a nose. Back? Come on, man.
No way.
I don't know. He is very phallic. I feel like he's overcompensating with Nagini. Like there's something there. Where he's just got this his fucking his buddy.
What a big snake.
Yeah, look at you. He's got the biggest fucking snake. Wow, la la la. Yeah.
He's the Dark Lord. Ooh.
Yeah, we get a Dark Lord. Yeah, thanks, Daddy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they have dildos of Voldemort.
Yeah, they do. And Harry Potter. No. The other guy.
Oh, it was from Twilight.
That's
Twilight. That's what it was.
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Pattinson throwing down. There's a movie on Netflix called The King. If you haven't seen it,
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, it's so good.
So good.
So good.
Did you watch that?
It makes me so happy.
Do you see that? That's the effect that Robert Pattinson has on her.
No,
She's
it
like,
wasn't.
Did you watch that with me?
No.
I was the guy sitting directly next to you on the couch. Yeah, during that Robert Pattinson movie.
It wasn't even him though. It was the other guy. I don't even know his name.
King, the guy.
The King.
No,
yeah, the King.
About the French? Are you talking about the one where he plays the French guy?
Yeah, that movie.
Well,
But the actor.
It's about King Henry V.
Yes, King Henry. Whoever played King Henry, I was like, what is up?
Yeah.
He got the juice. Yo, when he cut his hair, I was like, okay, he gets
okay.
So you guys have the same taste in men, apparently.
Let's get one.
Hey, you got to respect juice, okay? When you just see somebody that just got the juice, you just go, all right, you get it, all right?
I wasn't familiar with juice.
What is? I go, who do you want so that I have a chance? Okay, like, all right, you want her, and her? All right, cool. I'll go somewhere else.
So this is more of a process of elimination. This is kind of a thing of
I'm not competing with that guy. He wins.
I think see that's why Cam, I wanted to let you know because obviously we're close. We're family essentially. Yeah. We're family. And I wanted to let you know that I've decided to start fighting professionally.
Like 8th graders?
I hope so.
You know what? That's how I know. That's how I know you're really a friend because you're honest with me.
Hey man, how do you start fighting? Like I thought you had to like grow up fighting. You know what I mean?
Obviously, you've never been on World Star. You get a group of people to circle around you.
Yeah, backyard fights. All right, I like where you're starting.
That's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
My hands are sweaty.
I think you have to start in Florida, though. I think that's the law.
Yeah.
I think you have to backyard fight in Florida first. Actually, we're probably the last place you want to backyard fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I've lost my edge since we've moved away. I don't have that Florida edge anymore.
Yeah.
Kimbo Slice started fighting out here in backyards.
I could definitely take Kimbo Slice right now. I could definitely take.
What if he's on coke? I don't know if you could take him if he's on coke.
Apparently,
I don't think I'd help him right now. I don't think.
She doesn't stay up on MMA news. Kimbo Slice died a couple years back. So
he's been there for like 4 years now, 5 years. He died around the same time as like Harambe.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, that's right.
Take it easy.
They died around the same time. Okay, no correlation. Jeez.
Okay, I'm just saying. I thought you were saying there was like an inside job or something like that. I don't know.
What happened? It wasn't natural, right?
What, Harambe?
No, Kimbo.
That's a pretty famous story. You should know that, even if it is a couple years old.
I can't remember because now that you say, I'm like, oh yeah, he did die, but I don't.
Kimbo Slice. I think it was like a heart thing. I think he had like a heart. It was. It was something that was.
It was something health wise. I watch that Harambe video every so often, just like to see that little kid get dragged through the water. It just is so funny. I've always wanted to do a bit about like how that kid's gonna grow up and not be anything, and we're all gonna wish we had Harambe back. It's like this kid's gonna be a C average student, dude. He's gonna have separation anxiety. He's gonna be the worst kid ever, and we're gonna be like, we should have kept Harambe.
Yeah,
we didn't need that kid in society, bro. Like that kid wasn't. He's not gonna be a politician. We don't need those. I don't know.
Yeah, and for what? What was it? Yeah. Was like he's like the human. That kid is like the human representation of that ball that guy caught in Chicago. Like that foul ball that he was just like that could have been an out. And like you, what were you gonna get from that? What were you like? What did we really get from that?
He's world famous now.
Dude, that girl's famous for saying "Cash me outside." How about that? And her family will have money forever now.
She's a millionaire.
Yeah,
insane.
That is insane.
She has a record deal. She has like multiple like gold records.
Mm-hmm. And I couldn't tell you what her songs are at all.
I'm not even sure her name.
I've listened to them. Some of them. I'm part of the problem.
Part of the problem. You are. I did not contribute to her whatsoever. I wouldn't even look at her like social media. That's how like so much I just was like, why are we doing that?
She's a child. She's still like 16.
I think she's older now. I think she's like 18 or 19 now.
She might be 17 now. She got famous when she was like 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say
15?
Yeah, she's. I was gonna say I've avoided Googling it, even if I do want to know. Yeah, because I'm like I don't want to be on that.
I'm afraid that's gonna come out sometime. Like, you Googled how old she was. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you want to know? That's the weirdest part about like, dude, I've got like 650,000 TikTok followers, and of those 650, like 400,000 of them are underage, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh. So when I did that show, one of the new bits that I was working on is about the Wiggles. Holy shit, it's one of my favorite bits now. Like, this is the first time I did it, and I'm so excited to like.
So people got the like are Wiggles still? Are they still?
Was that part of the clean?
They dropped a new album, bro. Like they're
okay.
still putting out albums to this day, like new songs. Yeah. Oh,
I did not even know
so
that.
much fun. it just reminded me of it because I was talking about her and not wanting to Google it and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think. I don't even know if this is I don't even know. This was actually. You know what? This is perfect because I was going to probably text you about this anyway, but I was just thinking of something the other day, unrelated. Don't ask why I was thinking of it, but how come I've never noticed there's always ghosts? I'm a sucker. I watch those ghost videos because I'm a fucking idiot. Those ghost videos online, those top 10, like this is how many ghosts have been caught on the background of someone's TikTok, or this is watch this fucking door open and this bitch freak out.
I hate those. Those are so creepy to me.
Yeah, and it's like, but how come I've never seen that in a fucking porno? I've never seen a ghost.
You never seen a ghost porno?
Because you're never paying attention to the background. The only
nobody ever.
That's funny. That's really, I like that. I like that a lot.
The only time that ghosts kill people having sex is in the movies. Like it never happens like all the time on like your Twitch streaming or some shit. But it never happens when like you just like balls on ass.
You know what? Because ghosts got respect, bro. Ghosts got respect. Ghosts gonna wait till they're gonna wait about an hour until after you're done with the sex, and then they're gonna be like, all right, back to haunting, okay?
Everybody needs a mental break.
That's the thing though, is like if a ghost is haunting your house, just start fucking, and then the ghost will be like,
okay,
and that's what
I'll be back.
And that's where my conclusion was getting to, is essentially I feel like that's why, like you watch these horror movies and you're like, oh my God, Jason's on his way. We should probably start fucking in these bunk beds just in case. Right?
Yeah,
and like,
that's funny.
Oh, because that's worked every other time in the past. Every time we're fucking, we never notice that there's ghosts here. So, I mean, it's a ironclad, honestly.
Jason will kill you while having sex because Jason has no morals. He doesn't care. Ghosts are like, all right, man, put your dick away. All right.
Come on, damn it. I've worked hard. I had to work really hard to get all these fucking, all this like ectoplasm, like so I could slam this fucking door in front of you if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, ghosts have never killed anybody while having sex. I like that. I like that a lot. There's never ghosts in porn. I like that. That's dope.
It's one of those things that like I feel like it's one of those. I don't know if it's I've always told people I'm not a good bar to run something past because I have a very weird standard. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, how could I never have thought of this before? But it's also one of those things of like, I don't know if anybody's thought of this.
I mean, you know me. I think it's the most off the wall stuff too. So yeah, I agree. I like that. I like because I've seen like parody porn of like the poltergeist and stuff of like people like doing that.
Yeah,
like, that's been on the front page of Pornhub, but I've never seen like a real, like somebody breaking down like, all right, look at this video, but like, don't look at them having sex. Look in the corner. Right?
Yeah, because like that was the thing is this one series of videos that I watched is Nuke's Top 5. Another free ad for you. Nuke's Top 5, and like his kind of like catchphrase almost is, "Did you see that?" Always like, because he plays a video and you're like, but you know I didn't see that because you're asking. Obviously I didn't see a goddamn put the little red arrow on and show me what I missed, and then
circle
like,
it,
look, there's a fucking guy in the background.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of times I feel like it's just these are just hobos that are like, you're breaking into an abandoned building that they're sleeping in, and they're like, what is that, you know, like so like
and they chase. But see, that's what scares me, is that it's actually a real person that's charging at me. Like if it's a ghost, like what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. But if it's a person,
I'd much rather be a real person. Oh man.
Right.
Dude, like a week ago, we had a shooter in my neighborhood, and my roommate called me. And he was like, "Stay inside, lock the doors, this and that." I went upstairs, grabbed the gun, and I was on the porch like, "What's up?" Like, I was like, how often do you get to shoot somebody and be a hero? Okay,
yeah,
dope.
Exactly, and that
from your porch,
right?
From my porch, it'd be great.
Perfect.
Yeah, you don't even have to put your shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like when I get interviewed, I just want to like redneck it up and just be like, well, you know, somebody told me if somebody out here with a gun, I got a gun. I was better.
I was fast.
I was better. I shot him up, stood my
I
ground.
was playing Call of Duty all day. He didn't want no smoke.
I was ready.
All right. And this one is good. This one I knew that you would be perfect for. You just learned that tomorrow morning you would be permanently exiled from your country and you can only take 3 things with you. What would they be? Like, can you imagine?
Gun.
Yeah.
Gun, because I know in some countries you can't have those, and I want to be a leader of a country. I think that's how that works, right? You just get to another country and you're like, I have this. Do you all have this?
Yeah.
No, I win.
Okay, I'm here.
I've discovered this. It's mine now.
Only 3 things. Like, is clothes included?
Yeah, I feel like
How I interpret that is something that only you can get in this country.
Yeah, that's what I would
think. If
think.
I'm leaving this country,
right.
Can I take my freedom? I would love to take my white privilege to another country.
Wait, I'm American. Well,
Yeah.
no, you're just exiled from you're not American. No,
Yeah,
no, I have freedom.
Yeah, no. I brought my freedom with me.
I brought it.
I brought my freedom. They're like, shit.
Your
You
passport.
Definitely, freedom is my number 2. If I'm allowed to use that as like a free pass of like, oh, I don't abide by the same rules.
No,
American.
I'm allowed to have a gun here. That I don't know if you know. I have freedom.
I have a gun and I'm American.
Yeah, I would think you would bring your gun permit, and then.
What else?
Yeah,
what else do we get here that you don't get somewhere else?
Tacos? No.
Yeah, but that goes too fast. You know, like anything perishable is too fast.
Yeah, see, I feel like this would have to be one of those things that like it is it's a thing that either reminds you of home or it's a thing that you can only get here. So like 3 items that you would take with you to that country. And again, I don't know, like you're going about it saying maybe this is me discovering a new land.
Yeah, which
I like.
Pretty
that.
cool.
Hey,
That's
that. I like that angle. So
that's Michael Jordan.
I mean, trust me, the 2 things that I'm taking with me are good anywhere. Freedom are good in India. Yeah. They're good in China. They're good, like, these are things I can take anywhere and I'll be happy. What's the 3rd thing?
I would assume this is like you're moving with you, but you're adding these 3 things to it because like I would have to say it would. I don't know if I would say gun for us, but I would say, oh damn, this is a hard question, isn't it?
I'm gonna say Chloe and Dobby are cats.
Those aren't things. I mean,
all right. Well, in that case, yeah, I'm definitely taking. Well, is my mom a thing? I take my mom.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Gun, freedom, and my mom. My mom's freedom. My mom's freedom comes with her too.
And your mom will help you fight for your freedom.
Absolutely.
She will have your back the whole time.
Yeah, I think I would have to say, yeah.
I'd take you too, babe.
Yeah, the cat. She's getting the cats and me. So am I getting exiled too now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both getting individually exiled.
Yeah. So you get 3 things too.
This is just like the stimulus thing. We get a nice little double.
Yeah.
We get a double.
See, that's funny.
Income.
So my mom claimed me on her taxes, so I didn't even get one.
Oh man!
Everybody's like, got my 1,200. I was like, I did.
So wait, you didn't get? Did she get it?
Did she get it for you?
No.
Prick.
Like she gets money for like claiming me as like a dependent, right? And like, but she also does my taxes, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
That 1,200 is me not having to ever file my own taxes.
Yes, that's well worth it. And especially this year, we had to drop ours off, which we still have not picked up the papers.
Yeah, we still
because you had to do it like contactlessly.
Yeah, we dropped them off.
We dropped them off, and then they gave us our money.
They kept asking us all these questions, and we're like, I don't know. Like, I usually figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're terrible adults.
That's why we pay for the insurance, so you can't come back at us because we have no idea what we're doing.
I'm the least adult.
Yeah. I would say, I think my 3 things, if I was leaving this country, going to another country, I would say I would bring an air conditioner, like a portable air conditioner, like a plug-in, so you can always get an adapter.
I was going to say, it may not be the right plug.
You can always get an adapter. And not all places have air conditioning, and some places suck without air conditioning.
That's true.
So we'll get air conditioning. I would say, since you're bringing the cats, I'm going to bring, fuck. Yeah, that's really hard. I'm going to say I'm going to say drum set. I'm going to just
bring a drum set.
I'm going to have things that I don't have already, because no matter where I'm going, I want to start off with I want people to stay the fuck away. I want to play this, and I want you to stay the fuck away until I figure you guys out.
That could also get you murdered.
Yeah.
He was outside like. They're like, all right, kill that guy. Kill him.
He's annoying. And then you're gonna leave me and the cats.
Yeah. With an air conditioner,
just make sure
and a drum set.
No, I know what you need to bring is your gi.
Yeah, my gi. That was gonna be my third thing. Was a gi.
The third thing is your gi.
Yeah, because that's gonna be. I'm gonna have to fight
karate.
Karate.
I've been studying jiu-jitsu for over a year, almost. Well, again, not for a couple months, but for a little over a year.
I like your handlebar mustache, man. You look real Hulk Hogan-y.
Yeah.
I've been basically I've decided to make as many decisions challenging my wonderful wife here to love me still. I've floated past her. First of all, I shaved my beard. She told me if I ever shaved my beard when we got married that she would divorce me.
When he proposed, that's what I said.
So that was the first test.
That's great. Yeah, you were like, let's see if she means it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So what you know now is that she doesn't keep her word.
Exactly. And now I've been testing her like a child.
He was smart. He did it 13 years in. So I've trained him. I don't need another. I worked really hard. I put a lot of work into this.
Man.
That's when I started throwing in wild cards.
It's like when people threaten to break up and stuff, it's like when you get to a certain point, it's like just remind them of the comfort that you've built up. Yeah. Like, you're gonna leave me? Yeah? Go back to shitting with the door closed.
Yep.
Like, I don't wanna.
Go back to holding in farts, you coward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you know what, we can work this out. I think we worked this out. We got a lot here.
Now since this discovery of shaving this, I'm like, all right, well, let's see what else we can get away with. I've said I would like to get a drum set. I did say that actually. But I just kind of floated that past. I think she was just like, yeah, maybe if
you
we
said
had the
electric,
money,
which
electric
then
drum set, yeah.
You put headphones.
Oh, those are dope.
Yeah, and you can't hear it, so that's cool.
Right. And then I said, okay, let me up it up a little bit. While FaceTiming with Mother and her, I said, hey, well, wouldn't it be great if I just started fighting? And she's like, and they both kind of like, yeah, that's a funny one. That's a good one. You should try that out on stage. And then I go. And I'm like, oh, no. I feel like I could do this. Like I could really, because I floated it past my jiu-jitsu coach, my professors, jiu-jitsu professors, and they both said, yeah, absolutely, you should do that.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
So,
do you understand though, like how, I don't know how I'd feel if I got knocked out by Patrick George. Like, do you understand? Like,
exactly.
I feel like, I have to shoot him now. He's so mad. But he knocked me out. No.
So, then I go, hey, since I'm going to be fighting, I got to have a cool haircut. Maybe I should go with a mullet.
Ooh.
But I'm okay with the mullet. I just can't do it. He wants me to cut it. I don't want to cut a mullet and like have it look good. So
that's the thing though, is you just got to try. And the thing with a mullet is it's not supposed to look good.
None of them look good.
But I have to look at it.
Exactly.
Like, you got to look at Theo Von, look at his mullet, and then just go, I'll try to do that. And then whatever happens,
but his
that's a good mullet.
Good.
No, but that's the thing. The best ones are the worst ones. Like, they're
it's the ones that like, it's the ones that just happen. You know? You don't go to a barber to get a mullet, okay? You just get a mullet. Nobody gives you a good mullet.
That's it. Yeah, you have to like you wake up with a mullet. You don't really choose a mullet. A mullet chooses you. It's either when somebody fucked up.
Earn mullet, okay?
Yeah, you earn a mullet. Exactly.
This is how you do a mullet, right? You grab a bandana, you put it over your eyes, you grab the clippers, and then you just work. Okay?
You just start spinning the chair. Cam. Well, thank you so much for your for being on.
Yeah, thanks for taking time.
I appreciate.
Man, yeah, great seeing you guys.
Why don't you tell people where they can find? Obviously, there's tons of people that have already found you, but why don't you tell the other people where they can find you and follow you on social media and see where any kind of shows you got coming up?
Yeah.
For the people who haven't found me, I'm on everything. It's Cam the Comic. It's the worst. I don't like it, but it's already on everything. So I've already got business cards with it stuff, and I've got merch with it on there. So I'll just be Cam the Comic until Bill Burr laughs at me and tells me I'm a chump. And
no, that's
like, you're 35. What are you doing?
You're right.
Thank you, best friend Bill Burr.
Where I don't think I've seen merch. Have you?
I've got these wristbands that say Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what I sell like after shows and stuff.
Nice.
And so check him out there. Wife_George over here
on Instagram.
PG comedian, also probably going to get laughed at, but also I also erased my Twitter, so I'm terribly at branding. I've worked terribly at any kind of branding, and it's all kind of jumbled, and it's getting there. I've got merch too, but it's free. It's all free. But thanks so much again, man, and we love you, buddy.
We love you.
Yeah, I love you guys. Bruce.